Now, you've put out a McKinsey report, one of those detailed reports that you do, on the opportunities to be had in supporting small, medium and micro enterprises. Just give us the context for this, the research that you did and who you talked to and broadly what you were trying to do.
Absolutely, thank you. So what we found is our banking clients across the world are looking for new ways to achieve top-line growth. And we actually, through the research, found that the small and medium enterprise opportunity is one of the larger opportunities that banks can capture. As you rightly said, over $220 billion in additional revenue that banks can capture through this opportunity.
Well, that's your estimate.
That's our estimate, yeah. Absolutely. This is across all the emerging markets, whether it's Asia, South America, Africa, and so forth. And so we know, why have banks kind of struggled to capture this opportunity so far? Well, they've really found SMEs to be hard to assess the risk for, and they've also found that the costs of serving this SME has been prohibitive traditionally. But in our research, we interviewed 30 banks who were actually starting to innovate and find ways to serve this market, which was very interesting to us. And many of them were actually making significant profits. So 2/3 of that sample were making 20% or more in terms of return on equity, which was astounding to us, which is a really remarkable finding.
Now, historically, banks you would expect to be cautious about small enterprises. Almost by definition, the micro ones have no record and they're very difficult to... A lot of them, they're reporting systems and banks don't like things to be vague. But clearly what you're saying is if they can be innovative, they can do this. Not only is there an opportunity, but as you say, it can be profitable. What is going to take... What will it take to push the banks into, those that aren't, into investigating the sector more?
Well, I think there's a few things. So some of the innovations we saw in how banks are attacking this. Firstly, there's a lot of innovation around risk assessment. You rightly point out that it's very difficult for banks to assess the risk of micro and small enterprises. So they don't have financial statements often, they often aren't covered by credit bureaus. So what some of the most innovative banks are doing is actually things like psychometric testing. Right? So you bring in the small business owner into the bank and they take a 30-minute assessment right there in the branch, and which tests things like business acumen, financial literacy, and so forth. And that score becomes an input into the lending. And so you don't need complicated financial statements, you don't need a credit bureau score, but you can actually get very good information about lending to that SME.